Alright, so this is my gauge set. You guys have seen me build this. So the silver knob, I got 1 times, which means it's 0 to 10 volts. When it's 2 times, it's 0 to 20, so it's approximately 4, so it's about 8 volts. And now it's 0 to 30, which is 3 times. So do an easy number. So go to about 3 threes are 9. I generally run it in times 2, 0 to 10, 0 to 20. So that would be 12 volts at 6 volts. Very helpful meter. Then on the ammeter, I've got a shunt. So the bottom scale reads 0 to 1, which it's currently on. Left flick this switch back that way. It's reading on the second scale plate, which is 0 to 10 volts. And running through that shunt. This is my dummy load. It's also keeping me cold. I'm just going to turn it slightly down. So this power supply is very noisy. The reason why I don't like this scale plate is just garbage. It's 0 to 24. Power supply does deliver to 27 but not to 30. Not sure why they got it. And I think it's a 5 amp from memory. And I'm not too sure why it goes to 10 or 20. It's very rough and weird. But it's a very noisy power supply. It's got a cooling fan, which is handy, so I just put a heatsink here and just sit my meter on top of that. Inside the actual case is a switch, so 3 positions. So the top one, which will be 1 times, because there's no resistor dropping the load. The second time is running through a 10k resistor, so it's dropping 10 volts across that resistor to get me the 0 to 20 volt scale on the meter. And on the third position, which is times 3, it's going to go across those 2 resistors there, so it's going to drop a total of 20 volts. So I get my scale plate at 0 to 10 volts. And across, follow this path along, my ammeter. Normal operation, it just goes straight through, so I get 0 to 1 amp, so it's the full scale deflection of the ammeter. Or if I turn on that switch, it closes and it turns that shunt on, it puts that shunt in parallel to that meter, so it'll take 9 amps through that shunt and it'll drop 0 to 1 amp through that ammeter. It's a very easy thing. It took me a long time to figure out those values, and it was sort of trial by error. The shunt I got off eBay. If I go and turn this off, turn it around, I can. There's the shunt, so my input, my shunt. It's very rough, but that's what you get for China for like $3. The actual case is actually 3mm ply, and I laminated about 9 or 10 sheets to get me my thickness. Each plate has a hole in it, and I keep stacking it until I get a cavity, and I was able to. And then these meters just fit straight on. I am going to change that knob eventually. I'm going to change the screws to brass, but at the moment it'll do. I will need to eventually put a scale plate on these two to actually, so people know what it is. But it's handy. It's handy to have, especially 0 to 1 amp. You can really see what you're doing. And being old school meters, they're not very accurate, but they're accurate enough. I think I've covered pretty much everything I want to say about this project. Thanks guys.